What's up, guys? It's Greg from Tabletop Nights. Today we're looking at the amazing Court of the Dead, Mourners Call. Do mourners call? I suppose. Otherwise, how do you get to the wake? Anyway, Mourners Call. All right, so let's take a look at what's in the box. I've been really excited about this one. Seems to be a bit monotonous, but there's so many amazing games coming out at the moment. Fantastic. So I picked the sleeve for the spirit. I mean, who doesn't like a sexy skeleton spirit type person? Obviously, you know, there's flesh and other exotic things in this game. But on the back, this is a slip cover from memory. You can choose which one. You can see, as usual, this fulfillment company hasn't packaged the box correctly, and I have some box crush on the side. So once again, I'm going to name them soon if they don't get this right. But have a look there. That's all been dinged in. So all there was is there was a few, Cheetos in the box, no other packaging, and the box was flimsy as hell. So once again, last time, guys. Next time I'm going to start naming and shaming because I think this happens all the time. Anyway. All right, so that's the slip cover. With that off, we can now see everything that's in the box. That looks beautiful. Really nice minis. Picture of the board, all the different bits and pieces. We've got custom marble dice. I got the metal pieces, obviously. You've got everything there. You can see that's quite badly smashed in there. So that's stuffed already. Nice artwork, beautiful overprint here. That seems to be a bit of the fashion these days. So this is a 2 to 5 player game from Project Raygun. We've been probably watching playthroughs of this for well over a year now, with different prototype versions, and it's just beautiful. I love the look of the board. Look at that nice little sort of parchment paper there to protect the board. Really nice. Thankfully, the inside of the box has been packed nicely, so there's no damage to the board itself, and even the inside doesn't look too bad. So if we have a look around, that's actually okay. So it's mainly the slip cover and the box cover that has that damage. I'll just put the board aside for a minute because I need to clear all this out of the way before we get to that. Well done, guys, for protecting that. Beautiful looking rulebook. So 90 plus minutes, ages 14 plus 2 to 5 players. Quick reference guide on the back, always handy. That's a really thick cover with a linen finish. So 26 internal pages, I guess. Again, the cover's there. That's going to last you a while. That's well protected. Plenty of views of all the components, key concepts, other concepts. FAQs, clarifications. I think we're going to have to play this one on the channel very soon because it looks pretty straightforward. It's sort of got a Euro feel. It's not like massive combat, a bit like Rising Sun. So I think it's a good combo because there's different strategies, different ways to win. Nice. What's this? New figures, because obviously Court of the Dead is a whole universe of beautiful resin miniatures, and some of those painted up just look photorealistic. It's quite stunning. Great, so I've got 10% off some other bits I can buy. Oh, that's my code. Don't look at my code. I'll have to censor that now. Because I know what you guys are like. Shifty. Wow, there's a massive tray of all the different pieces there. Is it taped? It is taped. Well, those little circular blobby things. One guy's trying to hide there. Right, so this is firmer plastic than we had in Arena of the Conquest. So there's obviously a little bit more detail then. They can go a little bit sharper. So there's a guy there next to the old D-cell battery. Another fella here with a shield. Looks like most of the flashing's been trimmed off. The molds are pretty good. So they look nice. These dark skeleton guys. Again. Nice miniatures there. There's a heap there. There's what, I don't know. 3, 6, 10. So there's about 50 odd miniatures in that little section. Really nice, firm plastic. They're not going to, I don't think they're going to bust if you drop them on the floor. If you step on them, you're going to do some damage. But again, it's that, I'd say that medium to high grade where they're not going to bust. There's enough detail that you're satisfied. You can actually paint them if you want to, but this is the kind of game where you probably wouldn't because it's more of a worker placement style game. But they are beautiful. Oh, I need to show you this. Oops. He's gone for good. Dog's got that one. Look at this one here. I'll try and hold that one up really close. So the detail is quite nice. Beautiful. Alright, so that's layer 1 of the miniatures. What's in here? Okay. I'll just check there's nothing else under there. There isn't. So it's just the one more layer. Quite a deep box. But hopefully that's so you can fit all your bits in when they're sleeved, etc. So you don't get the normal dice as well. So I've got the marbled effect dice there. They are quite nice, translucent, very well produced. It doesn't look like there's any blemishes or paint out of whack. Nice. Some of the bigger dudes here. Again, very nice. I can't name them all. People are probably screaming at the screen going, we know them, we've seen them in other games or as part of the universe. Really nice, really detailed. Here's this death dude. There's always a death dude. You've got to have a death dude in your dead games. Here's a ethereal wolfy type character. Sorry I don't know all the names. Alright, that's very nice. Alright, cards. Let's have a look at some of the cards. Just slide that out of the way for a second. And these guys. So we can get a few close-ups. So these are kind of that Taro size card by the looks of it. Here's one there. Shard, a mortal trespasser. Mortigul, a Mortis Knight captain. Cleopsis. That's a handy bra there. Literally a handy bra. Beautiful artwork. Again, Arena of the Conquest, the artwork in that was stunning as well. So this has a similar vibe. But these are definitely darker images. Beautifully drawn. So a lot of effort's gone into that. There is a linen finish on those, and they're not too shiny. So when we're filming, hopefully they'll come up well on camera. Alright, let's have a look here. This deck. So there's a few different types of cards there. There's what have we got? 5 player aids. Pop those there for a quick squiz. So they're good. There's a fair amount of iconography in this, but it's not, doesn't look overwhelming like some games. Like Batman. Man, there's so many icons in that game. Okay, they're nice. They're, what have they got? They look like they're a flat finish. But that's okay. If you're like me, you're going to sleeve them. If you're not like me, you probably hate sleeves. Victor's not a big fan of sleeves. But hey, all right. Quick look at some of this artwork. So these look more sort of like pen and ink type drawings rather than the fully fledged painting. Obviously this is someone from the a supporter or someone from the team or people that paid extra to get their face put on things. Not sure how I feel about that. Like ye olde ancient spectacles they're wearing. Surely you've got to take them off for the photo. Anyway, there's another one. You can tell which ones they are. But that's right, if it helps get the product out there, I'm comfortable with that. Not too upset. All right. What's next? Ah, the Wallows cards. I think these are like sort of objectives during the game. That if you can achieve them, you get some extra bits and bizzos. Haven't seen the ether or the coins and stuff yet. I'm hoping that's in this fancy looking box or area under the player boards. So they're all Wallows apart from three ulterior motive cards. Okay. 3. Unless there's some in the other deck that I haven't spotted, which is quite possible. Because you would think you'd have more than 3. Alright, what's on here? Nice, simple, easy to read. So it's fairly text heavy, obviously, so you'll need your different language versions. You'll have to learn what the syntax is for rolling dice and working out what everything means. But that's okay. Plenty of those, so it looks like there's lots of variety there, because you don't want to, when they put in 10 cards and you get the same things coming up all the time. Boring. Excellent. All right, now for some excitement. Let's have a... no, I like these player boards because they're inlaid. They've got the double layer. So it's a sunny 16 degrees today in Melbourne, Australia. Just providing a weather forecast. Let's see, what's the world news? Scott Morrison said something silly overseas. Donald Trump's in trouble. Impeachment stuff. That's how current we are. These boards are really nice. They've got there's a slight bend in there, but I'd say that's moisture that's occurred or as part of the gluing of the top section, and I expect they'll straighten out over time, but it's nothing outrageous. They are really thick, obviously, to allow for the inlay of the various tokens and ether, etc. I'll just pop one there so you can have a bit of a closer look. Really nice. So obviously 5 of those, 1 per player. And obviously you pick which sort of legion that you're having your alliance with secretly, and then they get revealed. So there's more of these little purple wolfy dudes underneath. We have some wooden markers there. I don't remember seeing those, so I'm not sure what they're for. Bases for the various groups, so you know which one's your pieces on the board, because obviously in this one you don't have like a specific group of miniatures for your team. You grab whatever's out there. So then you need to put a base on it so you can recognize it later. So they're kind of the standard, I don't know, 30 mil. That's my guess. Pop those there for a second. Plenty of ether. So these are the funky little crystals. Let me tip a few out for you. These are the same sort of gems you see, or that shape you'd see in lots of other games, like Batman. What's the other one? Can't remember. Must be early morning. It is early morning. It's I think it's about 9 a.m. Now these are beautiful. These are these little sort of skull markers, which actually fit in these slots. So rather than using sort of cardboard tokens, if I can get it in there, these will just sort of slide along in here to show where you're at and your various stats. So there you go. Really attractive, weighty. You know, they've sort of got that pewter feel about them. I'm sure they're not pewter, but hey, maybe they are. Likely to be steel. Now these, I think these are these Unity tokens. I can't remember what they're called. There's a whole heap of these. They're not as heavy as you might expect. They're quite thin, stamped metal. But it's got to be better than a cardboard token, surely. So there's the two different sides of those. Really nice. And there's a heap of those. You're not going to run out of them anytime soon. But they do sort of have that genuine copper coin feel. Although very light. Something heftier might have been better, but hey. I probably should get the rulebook out so I can remember what all these things are called. After all, there is a component diagram in here. So I was just being lazy, sorry. Bone, Flesh and Spirit. Yes, they're the factions. We have, okay. So Skull Tracker tokens is what those were called. There's one Dreadsbane token. Oh yes, that's in here, along with 15 faction tokens. So there's enough there so that obviously if everyone picks the same faction, that everyone can have at least one of their own metal tokens. I'm just going to clear this away because it's getting a bit messy. Don't want to ruin your eyes. So there's one. So they all have the same star symbol on one side. Sorry, they all have the skull on one side. And the other side they have something different. So there you go. They look really good. And the Dreadsbane token has its own little baggie. That's definitely the heaviest token in the game. That's quite nice there. That's one side. And there's the other. Very nice. Love a good skull dude, which is why I picked that faction in the first place. Here's a quick look at the board, guys. I had to actually detach the camera to get far enough away so you could see the whole thing. But, you know, if you zoom in, it's just lovely. You know, you don't need a board this big, but it's nice to have that. Let's stretch around and put our pieces all over the place. There's various tracks. Places to pop your etheria. More tracks down here to improve your strategy on. It is a beautiful board though. One of my favourites. And it's dark, it's mysterious, but you can still see everything, which is exactly what you want. And hopefully that light's not too reflective. It does have that overprint on in different elements, the river and bits and pieces. Really lovely. So that's the board. Right, so apart from these extra other wolfy dudes in here, that's the box. Now I have to say, it's nice to see a game that has all the Kickstarter stuff, all the upgrades in the one box as a core game. Um, we're seeing a lot of games now, they just want to add in box after box after box, which is great for long-term replayability. But sometimes you just want something that's just contained. You can get through in a couple of hours and go, I enjoyed that experience. Next time I'm going to try this strategy. Or next time I'm going to do that. Because I'm not adding another variant. So, great. Well done, Project Raygun. I really love it. The components are beautiful. Little Joker dudes. Little wolves. Metal bits. Ether. Inlaid boards. Who couldn't be happier? I hope you like that. Please like, subscribe, comment. Have you got this one coming? Does it remind you of other games? Let us know. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.